Big ambition. Is it worth a buy? Let's read the words of the developer. Big Ambitions is a revolutionary role-playing business sim. Go from nothing to the biggest entrepreneur in New York by opening small business. No one's going to open them in New York. Go from nothing to the biggest entrepreneur in New York by opening small businesses or slowly building huge corporations any way you like. Yes, guys, this is a business sim where you get a little bit of money off your uncle, and it's always your uncle in it. And you start off a humble little business under his guidance, which is kind of annoying. I'd much rather not have any of that guidance and just a manual. That would have been the way to go with this, but you kind of have to follow this. You don't have to follow, but you kind of do if you want to know how to play the game. But even then, it doesn't really tell you how to play the game. It's a very unintuitive game, unfortunately. But anyway, you get a bit of money, you open up a little gift shop, and mine's Max Knickknacks, as suggested by somebody in the stream. And then I opened a burger bar, which I didn't want to, but it just said open a burger bar. And then I just thought, no, I'm shutting it down. So I shut it down, and I thought I just want to concentrate on this one business, just to see what happens, see if you can deviate a little bit from the tutorial. And it seems you can, although when you do that, everything becomes unintuitive. Like, my uncle rang me up and says, hey Mark, there's a guy called whatever, and he has this big wholesale business. You might want to go and take a look. Well, I'd already been shopping there for about 3 weeks, so it was kind of stupid that I had to drive there when I didn't need anything, and only to come back. So it's all over the place, really, but it is early access, and I do hope they kind of fix it. There's nothing worse than a game leading you. It's like wearing a tie and someone's pulling your tie and leading you through, being an entrepreneur is about taking risks. It's about you coming up with a business idea yourself, and there's a whole list of businesses that you can open: clothes shops, restaurants, fast food, gift shop, all kinds of stuff you can open. And it would be much nicer if you could just do what the hell you wanted to and have a manual that told you everything about the game, because you go into this very, very blind. It's very unintuitive, like I said. You don't know half of the things of the different screens. You don't understand what they mean because they don't tell you anything. I mean, just basic things like, I don't know whether when I'm buying donuts, am I buying cooked donuts or am I buying raw donuts? Am I buying donut mix? I bought donuts because I had a look at the market and analysis of donuts, and there was a big demand for them. So I thought, right, I'll buy them. Got them back. Had a nice little display, bakery display. Now you buy donuts in a bakery, wouldn't let me put the donuts on the display. No, you can only put cupcakes or fucking croissants on here, because apparently the donuts were raw, and it was just the donut dough, so I had to throw them in the deep fryer, and it kind of wasted a few hours of my time all the way through, having to discover things myself instead of having a manual. I mean, it's stuff. There's one thing discovering things that's like really cool in the game, but there's another thing when you go to a shop on a limited budget and you don't know what rack to buy. So it's a very annoying game, this. And it's one of them ones, unfortunately, where you want to start again all the time, because it's like, if only I'd known that, if only I'd known this, if only I'd known that, why didn't you tell me this before? And the game is terrible for telling you things. This is why game manuals are massively important. A simple 2 days out from the game by the developer to type up a PDF of how the game works, what everything's for, what you need to watch out for. That would have been perfect. And then just throw us into the big bad world with a bit of money to start our own business. That's how it should have been done. But we've got this kind of bad hand-holding, taking you in directions you don't want to go, and a very unintuitive UI. A very clunky, unintuitive UI, may I say. Half the time you're clicking on stuff that doesn't work. Then there's loads of overlays on top of all the overlays, and when you're trying to scroll on the interior design, you end up actually turning your room around. Sometimes outside you're clicking on a building when you're trying to click on your car because there's an overlay. It's not good. It needs a lot of work, but it is early access. Then there's the driving. The driving, you just blast through road signs, traffic lights, you don't care, you have accidents, nothing happens except you take a little bit of damage on your car, which is easy to repair at the local garage. You have to put fuel in your car as well, you run out of fuel. And, you have to go to like the places like IKEA, it's meant to be IKEA. You pull into the car park, you go into the store, you walk around with your trolley. There's all this level of immersion in the game, but it's half-assed. That's the problem with it. It's just kind of, that'll do. It needs to be tighter, this game. The areas that's in the game need to be tightened up to give that full-on immersive feel, because I have to say, this game is great fun. I'm having a blast playing it despite everything that I've just mentioned. There's way more right with it than there is wrong with it. It's just that you need to know these things before you go into the game, or you'll get a bit of a shock, because I'm sure most people are saying that the sun shines out of this game's arse without mentioning all the things that's wrong with it. But there is a lot of the good things in there. There is the immersive factor, which, you have a little apartment that you've got to set up yourself, pay the rent, you bring in, I've got a little gaming PC I've just bought in there, you have a bed, your refrigerator, then you have your businesses, you rent the buildings, you choose what business you want, you hire the staff, you set a schedule for when they're coming into work, you might want to cover a few of their shifts to keep your costs down early on. Think about what your business is going to be, get storage shelves, you even set up deliveries from stores to send stuff like burgers, for example, to your actual restaurant. It's really, really deep in the sense of what you actually do, and it's very, very immersive, and it's highly satisfying when you start running a profit with your business. Starting off mopping the floors with one rack of cheap goods in your shitty little gift shop, and then eventually, you get more racks up there, you start selling expensive goods, you get it all redecorated, it starts to look nice, you get rid of the shitty staff with bad customer services skills, you can even train them up to be better at that. You've got lots of information to tell you why your business isn't doing well, you can change the prices, have a look at the walk by that you're getting, marketing campaigns, go out. Guys, it is brilliant game in the sense of what you can actually do to make your business succeed, and you can have multiple businesses. This is a game that I'm going to keep playing after this review, but I'm starting again. I'm completely starting again, because the game I've totally ruined it because there's no manual. For example, what happens if you terminate a business? Well, I needed to know that for the review, because I need to tell you whether it's realistic or not. So I had to ditch one of my businesses just to see what happens, and you get all your money back pretty much. It's all your stuff sold once you click the end business and terminate your lease and fire your employees. You get pretty much all your money back, which is really handy. It's not all your money back. I didn't tot it all up, but I got 15 grand back for, which is probably not all of it when I think about it, but I got a good wedge back. At least you get some money back. It's not like the receivers come in and take it all off you. It's a highly versatile game, though, is what I'm trying to say, in the business sense, with all the different businesses that you can open and all the different sectors of the city. Some are more affluent than others, some are busier than others, and you're working your way up from nothing. It's a game that you're going to be able to play for a hell of a long time. I've done 10 hours in it, just mucking around and seeing if I can go off tutorial, and do my own thing and all of that. And guys, I'm quite impressed with it. I mean, as clunky and as unintuitive as it is, it's a bloody good game, this. And if the guys who are behind this, I don't know how many of them they are, but if they get this right, if they tighten this up and they fix up the content that's in there, this is going to be one of the best sims out there, certainly for the entrepreneurial sims. So there you go, guys. Big ambitions. I highly recommend this. If this is the kind of thing that you want to do, build up a business empire from nothing, it's got huge, huge potential, and I really do hope it succeeds, because we need more games like this. It's really good fun. I'm having a blast.